there are certain common practices um, by which we deal with values, and this is where I felt this book has such eye-opening awareness. So if you look at certain key points on how we approach values, right? First and foremost, we apply values more consistently to others, more absolutely to others than to our own self. Um, we always want to be the beneficiary of others' ethical standards, right? We want to be the recipient of others' good behavior. But are we exhibiting the same good behavior is something to be thought through. So when I came across this particular sentence, one example that came up was, so we all place orders from many of these instant grocery delivery apps, and many times if the order is incorrect, right, the order delivered is incorrect, maybe they didn't deliver the right quantity, maybe the product was damaged, right, we immediately raise a complaint, and the we make sure that we get the refund processed, right? We raise an issue and the refund gets processed. Let's say if, for example, you have ordered something of a lesser quantity and then you get the same product of a higher quantity. You ordered something for 500 grams, but you ended up getting 1 kilogram of the same product. Do we actually raise a complaint saying that, I need to pay you so much more because you have given me 1 kilogram of this, or equivalent, or if it could be compensated in the next order, right? We don't Do we even take the effort to raise and say that, we got more than what we paid for, right? This is something that to think through. Whereas when we are denied, or when we feel that we have not got the value of what we have paid, do we do the same when it is uh, the reverse situation? Something to think through. The second one is, whenever we perform an action that is a non-value, like you don't, it is not part of your value, but for some reason you are being forced to perform an action that is against that value, then what happens is that it creates a seed of guilt, right? Once there is even a tiny ounce of guilt in your mind, then that is all required for you to feel a sense of conflict that can lead to sleeplessness, that can lead to fear, some sort of restlessness, right? So, for example, if you as an individual value truthfulness, right? You want to be truthful, um, as much as possible, right? Um, but your employer tells you to build a false narrative, maybe say change a few numbers, report higher numbers to clients or customers, to investors, for example, right? Then you feel a sense of guilt, right? You don't want to do that, but your employer forces you to do, right? Though truthfulness is your value, you are being asked to go against it, right? So that creates a seed of guilt. So this is one example of how we go against our value, and that disturbs our mental stability. The third one is when um, when you are unable to live up to a particular value which you are, like, consciously or unconsciously you have accepted, that leads to conflicts, right? So when you are in that state of conflict, that is not really a desirable state of mind, right? Where your thoughts, words and actions are not in alignment. For example, leading a healthy lifestyle might be one of your core values, but due to work pressures, due to various other responsibilities, you are not able to keep up with your health habits or health goals. You want to eat fresh home cooked food, but you're not able to do so. You want to keep up with your exercise routine, or get good sleep, prioritize 7 to 8 hours of deep sleep, but you're not able to follow these habits because there are various other things which are beyond your control that prevent you from following it, or it causes you too much pressure to follow these goals that you have set for yourself. So there is a sense of conflict, right? So we face such conflicts day in and day out, but because we are not aware, um, we are not able to address the root cause. The root cause is the misalignment in values. What values we want to live by, but we are not able to at the end of the day due to various reasons, right? So these conflicts over a period of time, it builds a undesirable state where you don't feel comfortable in your mind, you don't feel aligned in your mind. The other aspect is when there is a certain value, you expect others to be 100% complying to that value. Whereas when it comes to your own self, you are not really 100% compliant. Maybe in certain scenarios, you may not follow that value, right? So, this is what the author calls it as having a split value, um, where you're not able to um, do exactly what you expect others to do for you. So, this disconnection is leading to a split value. And some of the examples I was, looking at where we always tell our children, you should not spend too much time on gadgets. You're spending too much time on your phones or TV. But are we following the same rule is the question, right? We will be like totally glued to our gadgets, but we expect our children not to do the same. So this conflict is like so apparent in almost many urban households today. The other example could be that maybe you are um, an app developer and you want to build a wellness app. You want to improve the well-being of the people around. You want more people to use your well-being app and get better in terms of their health, but you might be addicted to, say, smoking or drinking alcohol, right? So these are like this is again a conflict, isn't it? So this is the meaning of half value, where uh, we are not committing completely to whatever we say, and this half value leads to guilt over a period of time, and whenever there is a guilt, there is a sense of conflict. And this half value, it creates what the author calls as the knower doer split. So you know that this is how you want to live by a certain value, but your actions don't actually comply fully to that value. So this is how this knower doer split gets created, and this results to lack of integration within ourselves, where there is lack of alignment between our thoughts, words, and actions. And whenever there is guilt, we are not able to express ourselves completely. There is certain parts of ours which we don't feel like looking deeper, right? So this is how values um, impact our day-to-day decisions. It impacts our state of mind. It impacts the choices we make over a period of time. So I felt that this particular summary, like about 20-25 pages in this book, it opened up a lot of awareness and clarity on why we even need to consider uh, understanding our values, take up that effort to understand our values in the first place.